Hello and welcome to Last Level Gamescast. My name's Jason. With me today and every day is Phil and Var. Say hi, guys.
How's
Hi.
it going?
Good, good. How you guys doing?
Good.
Good.
Good. Another day in the life.
I hear you. It's fucking hot. We're in the
It's
East
stupid
Coast, Northeast, and
hot.
it rained. It felt beautiful earlier today, and then the humidity came in. It's the worst. I'm gonna
I don't know
sweat
what you're
as we
talking about
record.
personally.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
No one knows this, but LeVar's thermostat and his body's broken.
Oh, very.
I'm not the one complaining. I think mine's the only one that works.
Okay, just wait till the winter.
Yeah. Why?
It all changes
That's
then.
true. That means he just gets like hotter in the thing.
Oh, but
In his
yeah,
room.
I do come to turn this into an oven.
He
But
does.
anyway,
Yeah.
Healthy.
All right. What you guys been up to? What games you been playing recently?
So, a new season started in Diablo.
Oh God. I feel like there's obviously at least once every 3 or 4 months there's an episode
Yeah.
where he says that.
Every 3 or 4 months they start that back up. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. Normally I'm like 40 hours deep by now because it came out just under a week ago.
Yeah.
And I'm not. I'm only like 10.
Okay.
I think it's finally kind of lost its luster.
Well,
they're
they-
not changing enough.
Yeah, they
between
haven't had
patches.
major releases for it in a while since was it when they released like that big edition that like
Reaper of Souls.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's been a long time since an expansion, but at least before they were doing like this season the Wizard's the most powerful, next season the Demon Hunter, the next season the Barbarian. Like they're not even doing that shit. It's like for the past 3 seasons it's a Wizard, and it's like fuck, man, I want to try something different. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. What about you, Var?
I've been playing way too much Fallout Shelter.
Yeah.
Way too much Fallout Shelter.
PC.
Yes.
Okay. What's the? Is it like a direct 1-to-1?
For mobile.
I didn't play the expansion on mobile because I got clumsy thumbs and a lot of my Vault members died.
Yeah.
But they added a lot of stuff.
No shit.
Is part
They
of the
added a
expansion
lot of
because I
stuff.
played it while I was on vacation because a couple weeks ago I came back from Hawaii, but I was
What?
playing one thing that I noticed is now you can send your Vault Dwellers on missions. Was that
Yes.
part of the expansion? That's pretty cool
Yes.
because you can take like up to 3 people and they have a little bit of a battle system now, and it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun.
Because see,
And
that's
you
what I
can get
hated.
pets.
You hated the battle system?
No, because I'd send my guys out and
Oh,
they'd
and
never
would
make it
just-
home.
It would just give you a lot. What?
They'd always die.
They'd always just die out there.
I just revive them.
That's poor management. But
Did they not have an option before?
I just didn't care enough.
I don't remember.
yeah, they always had an option to revive them.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, always.
With caps.
It probably just costs too much.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was like
No.
260 if they're pretty
because
far out.
the way they've done stuff now, like last time I played, everybody died before I could get to 50 people
Yeah.
because they started sending in death claws, and I had nothing to combat that. And now I have like 120.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, and you can't stop my guys.
Yeah.
Can't stop, won't stop.
They won't stop.
I'm glad you're enjoying Fallout Shelter. And then you have your Adventure Capitalist.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's something
Yes.
else that you pop in once in a while. Oh, well, we're all playing Ghost in the Shell.
Yep.
Yes.
That's true.
The Call of Duty replacement. Kind of.
With way more menus.
Way more menus. It's a lot louder of a game than I've ever experienced.
It's
So
really
hot.
sad when you do the math and realize there's more menus than maps.
Oh,
That's true.
yeah. It's like
Way
exits.
more.
But I mean, it just went into open beta. You can play it for on Steam and everything. So I'm sure they'll update it.
Yeah.
And everything.
They're always adding stuff.
Yeah. So that's good. Yeah, I mean, other than that, I restarted Metal Gear Solid 5
Why?
because I still own it because I want to own it, and I haven't beaten it.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me go, and it's been so long that I was like, I'm gonna replay all the missions. So I'm replaying, dude. I got to like mission 20 before I stopped playing. I'm at like 12 now,
I'm
but
excited.
the same thing happened where like I haven't played in so long, and they did so many updates
Oh,
where it's like, I basically racked in a fuck ton of rewards like crazy amounts. I was pressing X for like the longest time just to accept all the resources and soldiers that they were giving me. Just I don't even know what I did, but yeah, they have like daily rewards that for missions that you do, missions you send your other people out on. I haven't played the multiplayer yet, but yeah, I'm getting back into it, you know. And then the Rainbow Six DLC came out. I've been playing back in Rainbow Six on PC.
You have the season pass though, right?
Yeah, I have it for both. Like both season pass for both the PC and PS4.
Why?
I was drunk. We went over this in a previous show.
I didn't know you got the season pass for that.
It was a deal.
Not a deal when you already own it.
Yeah,
All
well,
right, let's move on.
Yeah, so but the new characters are fun. It's just, you know, that game, it's
good.
Yeah, but you have to condition yourself for that game. Like the way you play is not like any other like first person shooter.
Yep.
You know, like you can't go running in, you can't do you know, it's so tactical, especially on ranked, because people talk. That's the one thing I love about it, is on ranked people work together for the most part. I mean, there's some, you know, but they have so many more penalties now.
What do you mean?
Like if you quit early, you can't play ranked for 15 minutes. If you team kill, that's the first offense. If you team kill, like they have different levels of offense for team killing, including like banning for a while. I think it's like 2 weeks or something like that. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. All right, so we'll just jump right into it. We'll start with WTF nerds. Okay, this is part of the show we just talk about nerdy stuff we're seeing on the interwebs. You know, share your nerdness.
You're a nerd.
I want to go first. I want to mention one thing first. Did you guys? I know Var probably did already. Did you guys see the Japanese release of the trailer for Resident Evil, the new Resident Evil movie?
No.
Yeah.
Is it an anime or a regular?
It's the final Resident Evil movie.
The
so
final
you know
chapter.
Yeah. Did you not know that was coming out?
With Milla?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, we're still doing this. This is still.
I think
One more time.
I think it's secretly competing with with Fast and Furious.
Just to see how many they can pump out.
Yeah. I mean,
because quality, they're about the same.
No, you stop that right now. Fast and Furious are good movies.
No. First of all, bullshit.
They're good movies.
Every 4 movies they drop like a decent one. Not good. I'm unwilling to say good. They drop a decent one.
There's a difference between entertaining and good.
Fine,
they're entertaining, but they're not good movies.
Wait, Var, did you see the trailer?
I saw it.
What'd you think? Are you ready?
It's more over the top ridiculousness.
They showed Wesker.
They showed everyone. No one's dead.
I didn't see Leon.
The scientist she killed in the 5th movie is back and has no sign of anything having happened to him. Yeah. The what they call the Red Queen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They've destroyed her like 3 times, but she's back. Wesker's still around.
I didn't see Leon.
Well, there were 3 or 4 really quick group shots.
Yeah, like Leon, I don't think I saw a version of Chris, but I could have missed him.
I did.
Okay, so he's there.
Question.
And it's not.
What was the last Resident Evil?
Extinction, I think.
I think so.
Or
was that
Resurrection or some shit? What are you talking about, boat?
No, it was after that.
Oh shit.
What
okay,
boat?
I'm one behind.
What boat?
Okay.
When they're on the boat at the end.
Yeah.
Middle of the ocean.
Oh, Afterlife. Is that one?
Yep,
I think it's
that's
Afterlife.
So what's the other one?
Extinction.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's Extinction.
There's so
I'm
many.
not sure. There's a lot of them.
It's not like we have interwebs in front of us, but don't worry about it. Don't check it. What about you? What do you guys got? What's tickling your fancy out there?
So Suicide Squad came out.
It did.
Yeah, it.
And if you're into things like reviews, you would have had a ball with Suicide Squad.
Mm-hmm.
Which Phil and I both saw.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't see it. I don't want to see it, to be perfectly honest.
Why?
I'm like, I don't know.
You're tainted.
I don't want to see Deadpool.
Oh, that's so good.
I know. I'm not saying they're bad. Just knock that out here. I don't want to see Deadpool, Suicide Squad until probably after Doctor Strange. Here's why. I know right off the rip, those movies aren't real Marvel movies. I want to get all my serious done. like schoolwork, all my schoolwork done, and then have a ball, because those movies are ridiculous over the topness, and that's what the inner and outer child in me loves.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with reviews is that they're not being treated that way.
No.
Well, Deadpool was. Suicide
Squad's not, yeah.
Like, essentially, the subtext of every negative review is this isn't a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Which it never tried to be. And the positive reviews are, it's not a Marvel movie. So, like, the people who I would actually listen to about these kind of things are telling me I would love it. And the people who I would never go to about it are really just finding anything they can to say it's a terrible movie. And before this its opening weekend, trying to tell people that's going to be the flop of the summer, which is fascinating considering where it is now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was interesting to
I
me.
think that was the genesis of a lot of people's reviews, is that they expected it to be shit and they were trying to justify it. That's what it felt like. It felt like they were like, oh, this is why I was right about this movie being terrible. You know what I mean? It wasn't like going in, or the other side of that too is that, like you said, they're comparing it to Marvel movies, which it's not supposed to be equivalent to the Avengers. It's not supposed to be I would say it's a little bit closer to Guardians of the Galaxy, but even then, Guardians of the Galaxy is a little bit it's easier to say that's a little bit better, because the expectations for that movie, I don't think anybody understood what Guardians of the Galaxy was until, so
that's how I got away with what it is.
People kind of heard what Suicide Squad was. You know, you kind of know who the Joker is, and there's an expectation there. So it wasn't fair. It wasn't just, because I was worried, because I was like, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe this movie isn't is worse than I think. Afterwards, but then I was like, no, I think the plot was a little vanilla. It was a little like, man. But other than that, like, the music was good. And I asked Phil, like, he told me he saw it. I was like, what'd you think? And he thought the same thing I did. I was like, all right, that makes sense, because we're not crazy.
No, it would, just to piggyback, first of all, I haven't listened to the soundtrack. Jay said he did. But, like, the music during the movie was fucking phenomenal. Like, the songs just hit at every point. I think they were weak on... So the Joker's in it, Batman's in it, but they're not part of it. Like, they're not part of it. And the reviews I read were all like, they didn't use the Joker right. And it's like, well, it wasn't his fucking movie. Like, he's just this, like, sub thing to keep the rest of the team going. But I think this proves that critics just fucking hate DC. Like, I don't know how else to say that. They just hate fucking DC for some reason. They got a vendetta.
It's not a Marvel movie.
Because it's not a Marvel movie. So like, DC, boo! But
it's not out yet. What happened?
Yeah.
We'll justify it later. But yeah, I don't know. It was good. I really liked it.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
Yeah, definitely. I thought it was. I don't know. Did you think it was better than Batman vs Superman? Did you like it more? Let me say that.
It's different than Batman vs Superman.
Okay.
It's just like, because I feel like Batman and Superman were trying to just be serious and be like this kind of grounded thing, whereas Suicide Squad's like, we're fucking bad guys. We don't give a shit.
They did much better job writing like one-liners in this than I think I've ever seen. You know, like even with Batman vs Superman, there was a couple, cute one-liners. Like, I remember when Superman asked Batman, he's like, "Is she with you?" He's like, "I thought she was with you." You know, that kind of stuff. Yeah. There was a lot more of that. It was funnier.
Well, I think Harley lends herself to that really well, just because of, like, every time I wanted her to say something, she did. If that makes sense. Yeah. Like, she would always get in those one-liners or those quips or those like, she'd meet somebody who'd want to kill them, and she's like, "Hi, how are you doing?" And it's like, "You fucking psycho. Let's date."
Fair enough. Phil, you got anything recent?
So I just wanted to do a little chat about this No Man's Sky. Have you guys ever heard of it? Some things going on.
A few E3s ago, I think.
I think it was 3.
3? Was it really?
No,
I think it kept growing.
It was at least 2.
Yeah. Have you guys read up anything on it or seen any
video?
Yes,
I watched Twitch. I actually watched like about an hour of it today. Watched an hour of it yesterday. there's not a lot of reviews out for it yet because a lot of people got their copies late and they're all doing like that whole day 1 progress, day 2 progress. But yeah, I've been exposed to No Man's Sky. I see what it's about.
What do you think?
It's exactly what I was worried about. Like,
okay.
I think the idea, the concept is amazing. It is amazing. That idea that you can just like kind of planet hop and do like explore. The way that they use the ship, I love. Because it just looks a lot of fun, like just to go from planet to planet. But the fact that that's all you really do.
Yeah.
You know, and the fact that like you're hearing that obviously a guy beat it in 30 hours, and they said the game was endless. That I see like, I think I see Twitch streamers kind of doing different things to justify playing it. Like this one guy I watch, his whole thing was whoever resubs or whoever those subscriptions he gets, that he's gonna name the plan after them. Mm-hmm. Like obviously that's a good idea, but I don't think he's playing it to enjoy it. Like I really don't, and it's because like it gets a little mundane after a while, at least to me, So I'm like conflicted about buying it.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. From what I've seen, it's like the best way. I think I read it. I was reading Kotaku, and the best way they said it was like, this is a good game for what it is, but there's so many other games out there that do this formula better. Mm-hmm. The only shtick this has is going from planet to planet. But like there's not, they claim this is coming, but there's not like base building, there's not multiplayer, there's none of those things that a normal survival type game like this would have. And that's what worries me. I don't know if I want it. I think I want it just because it's still the new shiny.
Yeah.
It happens. It's my life.
Be perfectly honest, that's the reason you're hearing about it.
Yeah. Yep.
That's like, this is a game that if it didn't have the hype train that it created at those E3s, would have gone under a lot of radars.
Well, not to sound like a dick, they also promised a lot more than what they fucking delivered. So
yeah.
Oh, they make games?
There's also a reason that the hype train was there, and they just failed on it.
Yeah.
Which now it's all coming in patches later, and don't worry, it's coming.
But that's, I don't know, like, we've said many times that day 1 patches or updates or whatever have you, are really, F you to the consumer, because 1, it's not going to be that early on. There's no way. With all the things people want from this, and what they're going to need to completely occupy the time that they kind of promise people, it's going to be an ongoing process of, and be sure to look out for our next update and our next update.
Yeah, but I think this leads credence to what Jay said numerous episodes back about how he never thought it was coming out because what they promised just wasn't, that's not a feasible thing to hit the way they were talking about it, because he thought it was getting delayed till next year. And going back, Var, you probably said the same thing. But
I said I didn't want it to come out.
Well, you're just a terrible
you're just a hater.
So what I think they did is they said, fuck it, because they already got a ton of hate. The Kotaku editor got fucking death threats when he reported on the delay, right? And they said, fuck it, and just released it.
Yeah.
And they'll update it as it goes. Kind of like, what was it, Drive Club?
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's first, like, it's funny you mentioned that's like the second game that's kind of like flopped on Sony's side, like with this kind of issue. These like these like day 1, like from the start, kind of. Except this game is, to a degree, it's solid, like it works, which Drive Club didn't work.
Yeah, but No Man's Sky doesn't either. When you watch Twitch, how many crashes did you see?
A couple.
Right?
Yeah.
And then like you'd be watching and they'd fucking land on a planet and the mountain would just be in the middle of the sky. And it's like, oh, that didn't belong there. And like there were just numerous problems like as you went.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just
one of the funniest comments I saw that I think he's the CEO of Small Games, or the head publisher, I forget his name. Well, because he went on a Twitter rant today.
Yeah.
Today or yesterday, and he wrote all kinds of like stuff talking about like just kind of the achievements that they had, and he said that there's already been over 10 billion discoveries as far as creatures. That's more than the Earth. Like, no shit, you're making millions of like billions of planets, right? Yeah. Like, that's not an accomplishment. I don't understand his logic there. He's just like, look at all this. You created all that. Of course it's gonna it's gonna be more. I don't understand your point, but I know there was issues with people like going to Phil's point about like promising certain things and not delivering, that people couldn't find each other, and they're on the same planet. They're some people thought it was a PlayStation Plus issue. It still didn't work, and then they eventually found each other but it was very,
but they didn't really see so the problem is Sean Murray, the leader of them,
the leader of Small Games.
I couldn't think of their name. No, Hello Games. He's seen in numerous interviews as recently as like 6 months ago saying, and this is a paraphrase, saying that the only way you are going to see yourself is when another player finds you.
He did say that.
And that they can see you. Yeah. Like, motherfucker, that's not how it works. Yeah. The people are literally like, hey, look, this is the same door, and they have different weather, different atmosphere, different everything on the exact same fucking planet.
Yeah.
And
but now they're trying to go back to the fact that it's listed as a solo campaign game.
But I have no problem with that. It's just another one of those check marks of like things we didn't fucking bother to do. Like check mark, because I think they just banked on never running into each other.
Yeah, they were saying that too.
They were
saying that too. Like the 1 in quadrillion chance of you actually.
But see, that's not a real chance. And I was thinking about this earlier, because let's say, how many planets did they have?
I don't remember.
16, whatever, quadrillion. Let's just use that number, okay? Let's
quadrillion,
pretend.
Yes.
But if everyone starts at the edge of the universe, you can eliminate every planet just past that edge. And then you could run into anyone on those outer edge, right?
Yeah.
So
assuming like it's like a kind of like a circle.
Yeah.
And not like, kind of their edges.
But there's also the fact that you are, as the guy who beat it in 30 hours, you were moving inward.
Right. And they get smaller.
Narrows it far, far more.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's simple math.
Yeah, it's not like everyone is evenly distributed through the galaxies.
Yeah.
That's not how it works.
Yeah. All right.
Either way.
So with that, we'll get into our next segment, Smart and Crazy. Okay. In this segment, I'm going to present you guys with a statement, and you can tell me whether or not you think it's smart or crazy. Okay?
Okay.
We're going to stick to No Man's Sky. So, no matter what, No Man's Sky will go down as the biggest flop of 2016. Is that smart or crazy?
I have to say crazy.
Yeah, I go with crazy.
Crazy? Are you fucking kidding me?
Crazy. Yeah. Why do you think? After all of that.
No.
I think it's a flop, but
you don't
Star
think it's
Ocean got a 5.
Yeah, but
expectations. Yeah, but no one gave a shit for. No one gave a shit for Star Ocean. Okay.
It's not your personal biggest flop. It's a general flop.
All right, general flop.
Yeah.
Yeah, that hype train behind it. Yeah.
You think it's a smart statement then?
Yeah.
All right.
No. Crazy.
Without my emotions, yeah.
No, and you know what, Var? You're about to punch yourself in the face. You know why? Last Guardian still comes out this year. So, like, I don't give a shit. Last Guardian could literally come through the TV and give me a blowjob, and it'll still be the biggest disappointing game of the year.
That's the only thing.
I think this softens the blow for Last Guardian.
It does. It really does. Yeah. The other thing is, because that's going to be brought up in some interview, where it's just going to be a subtle hit, where some people were in a rush to put games out there and they didn't deliver on their promises. We took the time to build up a game that the players deserved and whatever have you. You're going to see that, and you know it.
You know what else you're going to see?
Well, who's talking about Last Guardian right now? Even Sony's trying to get it out and be like, nah, just fucking release it. Just get it out the door. But when it hits, like, it's going to be...
we might see more of it now because we're getting closer to Gamescom. We're getting closer to TGS, and No Man's Sky is out. So...
We didn't even see No Man's Sky at E3. And we barely saw Last Guardian
That's
there.
because they were still trying to fix it.
That's true.
I just think, the I don't know. It's one of those things where the expectations were there. Oh, you know what I think that they're gonna do, and this is gonna kind of sway that statement, is that a month from now, No Man's Sky is gonna release how many people bought that game.
Yeah.
And they're gonna blow it up like it's some crazy number, which it might be, but at the same time, your game sucks.
Well, it's just.
I'm sorry.
It's just that song in my head is just like, you lied to me, like just over and over.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
All right. So next one. You guys both play Pokemon Go. I played a fuck ton of it in Hawaii. Best place to play Pokemon Go.
Apparently.
Well, any place that has a lot of like monuments, really, or like attractions. It's a fuck ton of gyms. It is an awesome experience. Had a lot of server issues.
Right. Well, it's still early.
Had a lot of account issues. So
what do you mean?
I use Gmail. My wife used the Pokemon Training Club option.
Okay.
When she played, and this is when they were releasing it like country by country, like every other day. There was issues with the Training Club program, and it wouldn't let her authenticate her account like at least 3 times a day. It's since been fixed, and she has a Pokestop right at her job, and
that's bullshit.
She caught a haunter, so we're kind of fighting right now. But I gotta ask you guys, Pokemon Go, do you guys think it's here to stay, and will share the same success as games like Candy Crush and Angry Birds?
Yeah, smart.
You think it's smart?
Smart.
Yeah, I feel like it's here to stay. The only thing that kind of concerns me is their lack of transparency recently, and like I get it. They're trying to get everything going. Like I've read a lot of not a lot, but a couple different interviews that he's done, and some of the comments, and I get that like they had an idea how big this game would be, but you can't know until you really release it, and they're working through it. I'm worried about its lasting effect as far as like it gets the Pokemon thing gets a little, especially when you see are Weedles in your area.
So supposedly they just released an update to help fix that.
Yeah.
They changed like where things spawn and whatnot. I get like this. My thought is all they have to do is release second gen, and everybody's back in.
Okay.
So like to me, I don't see it ending, man. Like how many gens can they get? There's like 7 or 8. I don't know. But like in Jay, we had this conversation like when my wife came home and was like, "Hey, what's this Pokemon Go thing?" Like I installed it. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like we're there. Yeah. Okay, we're there.
Game changing.
She still plays. She still picks up her phone. Like when we're home, we'll do it. Like so, perfect example. I caught a Pikachu the other day, and now she's fucking using incense and like trying everything to catch a Pikachu. So I don't know. I think it's here to stay. It had the best first month grossing out of any mobile app ever.
Yeah.
200 million in its first month.
Yeah.
It hit Japan. It did 100 million alone in Japan. Like I don't know. I don't see it slowing down.
Fair enough. All right.
To be perfectly honest, from not even a gamer's perspective, this is doing good for businesses.
Yeah.
Like, if you'll hear the negative stories in the news about.
Yeah, it's overblown.
But that's normally there's so much more backlash when you have those BS stories.
Yeah.
But this is just like, you could 20 kids fell off a cliff trying to catch a Pokemon, and I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there isn't that negative effect to these really negative stories about this thing. There's that much love for it.
Yeah.
And like Phil said, you keep releasing generations, and people will stay hooked.
Fair enough. Yeah, it's. What feature do you want to see? Like, what is there anything you're dying to see that you haven't already? From like, obviously, is trading that thing?
No, I actually don't want trading.
Okay.
because I think I think that would actually hurt them because it takes away from like me having to go out and find it myself, and it kind of like if I start getting the ones I want, you know, it's like any loot horror game, right?
And it
Once
also
you
creates
get
a
them-
secondary market for people selling
Right.
Pokemon.
Yep.
Because they're gonna be like, hey, I'll sell you this Snorlax for $200.
Yeah.
People would do it. They were
Yeah.
selling
Oh,
their
yeah.
accounts for $1,000 on
Yeah.
eBay. I don't know if anybody actually bought it, but that was the price point.
I want to see battles.
Like
I would
one-on-one?
love to. Yeah, I would love to be like, you know, with my wife and be able to battle her Pokemon or like my friends and just battle their Pokemon.
You want something else to cause a new thing to cause points of
Well,
contention in your marriage? Because I want the same thing. Huh?
I have to win at something, and I figured this could be the thing. This could be the one thing I
This is
get.
not something you
I
want to
think
win.
this would be your breaking point if you lose, though.
Yeah, oh, it would be 100%. Where'd Phil go? He lost. You were just leave him. He's
You
fine.
lost what? Life.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
Sit in the corner.
So Pokemon Go's here to stay.
Yeah,
Next, next up, something near and dear to 2 out of 3 of our hearts. Konami.
Oh God.
We love talking about Metal Gear and the debacle that was Kojima leaving. We also, me and Bar, when I say we, are frustrated that they took the time to
Pachinkify a game.
Yes, pachinkify a game and basically upres and
Beautiful
Snake Eater and just
You
tease us
saw
with
it.
that.
Beautiful.
I want to ask you guys: is it smart or crazy that Konami's milking the Metal Gear franchise on pachinko machines and definitive editions that are rumored?
Brilliant. Not even smart. Fucking brilliant. Like, are you kidding me? They're a
I would
company.
disagree.
They're a company. All they care about
I
is money. That's
I
it. All
understand
they
that
get shit about.
completely. But the thing is, from like a personal standpoint,
Yeah.
if you're going to gamble, you're going to gamble. You don't really need the flash and whatever
Yeah,
have you.
but you need them to gamble on your machine.
Understandable. Completely understandable. But if you want to sell something that has been a beloved franchise
Yeah.
as a console or PC game,
Yeah.
you work on that. Like, it's like seeing a Pokemon slot machine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's going to be some people attracted to it,
hmm
but there's going to be tons of people who have no more or less interest in it than the next slot machine.
Yeah, but money speaks, right? So clearly there's a reason they're moving away from the games to the pachinko machines.
Even though, but
And it's because they make money off the
they're
pachinko.
not making money off of it.
Off the pachinko?
Yeah, that was one of the things that we were looking at, is that they're actually losing money from those, but they're making money off digital sales for games.
Well, from the old remasters
Yeah,
and
yeah.
whatnot.
Which
yeah,
is-
but those,
which is-
that's nothing. 'Cause that
Yeah,
doesn't cost
but
them
that's the
anything.
thing, which is why, like, I think I'm with VAR in that, like, they need to understand where their money's coming from, like, truly, you know what I mean?
There's-
My point of the only thing I think that Konami could say and that it justifies it is they know the cost of what it takes for a pachinko machine to be made. They've seen what the cost looks like when Kojima makes a video game, so they've looked at that and been like, you know what, this is a safer bet for us.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, I think it's crazy only because I want more. You know, and not gambling machines, and they're not even over here. Like, I'd enjoy that.
There you go.
You know, Jesus, what a tease.
Would you though? Would you play on them?
No, maybe.
Okay.
I don't like. All right, so let's move on to the next one. So we've enjoyed games from Capcom.
hmm
Resident Evil games. I've never really gotten into Street Fighters, but I've played them. Marvel vs. Capcom. You know, whatever else you can think of. But they seem to be kind of going aflame in a
They've grown
sense.
stagnant.
Yeah, we keep hearing that they're losing money like every quarter. You know, they have Resident Evil 7 coming out.
hmm
They had a nice playable teaser. I still don't think that game's gonna look anything like what we saw. And I just want to ask you guys: is this statement smart or crazy? Capcom's gonna be the next major publisher to flop and basically sell away most, if not all, of their IPs.
I say crazy.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Why do you say crazy?
So their profits are down, but they haven't released anything big. Street Fighter V came out and did underperform, but I think everyone saw that coming, considering by the development hell that it got tossed into.
But there's also a bit of Street Fighter fatigue.
Yep, I think there's a fighting game fatigue, but they're also dropping into. So they got Resident Evil 7, Dead Rising 4. Dead Rising 4 will hit PlayStation for the first time. And then supposedly the remasters of 1, 2, and 3 are also coming to PlayStation for the first time. So I don't know. I don't see all of that missing. You know what I mean? And I would think it all would have to miss for them to do a fire sale.
Let me ask you this: what have they done up to this point that's instilled confidence?
What?
What have they done up until this point? What games have they really, like you said? There's no.
They got this far. Is what gives me confidence.
Yeah, but there's been plenty of like THQ got to a point with their successful games, like the SmackDown games and things like that. But there was a point where they just couldn't do it because, like, they couldn't rely on certain games to boost them. And my whole question behind this is that they're not releasing any good games right now. Like, they're really struggling. And you just said, like you said, there's fighter fatigue. Street Fighter was supposed to be big for them. Originally, Umbrella Corps wasn't supposed to be like huge, but it was supposed to do okay. It was a huge bust.
Yeah.
Right. Dead Rising is a bit of a help. I still think it's a little bit more of a niche game than people want to give it credit for. But when we talk about like major games, unless their overhead's like really cheap, like I feel like they're bust after bust. And that's why I'm asking. I'm wondering if you guys feel like they're going to be around in the next few years.
Yeah, I still think they will. I mean, THQ had like fail after fail after fail before they left.
Okay.
So
yeah.
they had like UDraw Game Tablet. Sorry, I just looked it up real quick. UDraw Game Tablet, Red Faction, Armageddon, Homefront.
But Red Faction, I would think that Red Faction was one of those games where a lot of people liked it and a lot of people thought it did well and it didn't do that well. You get what I'm saying?
No, I got you. I don't see Resident Evil 7 as that.
But Resident Evil 6 was that, and Resident Evil 5 was almost that, and Resident Evil 4 was the epitome.
Yeah, they still make money off of reselling Resident Evil 4.
No, I get
and
that.
5 and 6.
I get that.
And those cost them pennies to do.
But they also say that they're
mid installments.
But they also say that they're losing money. Like the revenues aren't up. So even if they are remaking these things and it's helping them,
because that wouldn't be reported. So 4 wouldn't be reported yet.
The way I look at it, as much as we've seen a huge decline in the quality of Resident Evil games, other than I still think
5.
I don't think 5 was a bad game, but their Revelations 2 games were actually pretty good.
Yeah.
But Umbrella Corps was just a throwaway. That's still a huge title. Like, it was one of those things to see a game like at E3. People were excited while watching the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And then you tag on the fact that this is the next installment of Resident Evil and it added to it.
Yeah.
Like, that's a part of what name recognition is, but that's also a part of where you have, your horror roots and your current horror genre.
No, I get that, but they've also shown us that they have no idea. They don't have a good enough idea on how to tap into those horror roots. That's why Resident Evil 6 is like,
but
is a huge worry for me for 7.
Yes.
Like they kept going in a direction.
6, anything associated with Resident Evil 6 is a huge worry for everyone involved. That was saying we have monsters. Does that make this a horror game? And the answer is no. It was an action game.
But I'm also like I'm only judging it by what was in front of me. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. That's the whole point of like that idea is that like I'm not that confident that they're gonna turn it around. Like I'm worried about Resident Evil 7 more than I think most people are because they are buying into the trailer, and I get it. The trailer's fun, but it's literally almost a gimmick because I don't know if that came out as a result of the real PT or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's it's just interesting. Like and I don't want that. The only thing I would say is they might get rid of everything else but Resident Evil.
So
because they
also have
the movie,
Monster Hunter.
They have the movie franchise.
Yeah.
And so wait, they're up year over year. Oh, for the end of March, they were up year over year in sales.
That they have titles that personally I'm interested in. I know, Phil, you didn't really like it. I still want to see what they do with Dragon's Dogma. Because that implemented some systems that were just like, why did no one else think of this?
Yeah, but wasn't that made by a separate company? Like, that was made by a separate developer.
It could have been. I remember it being a Capcom game, but it could have been.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, because they publish.
Yeah.
And there was something in the news about them essentially utilizing that the pawn system into other things, which is brilliant. Yeah. Like having the result of my friend's work with me, and them having the result of my work with them through their playing experience is very fascinating. I can't be able to play multiplayer whenever somebody else wants to play multiplayer.
Yeah.
But to still have a multiplayer component of the people I know, not just random people online, is extremely fascinating to me, as well thought out. They still have Marvel vs. Capcom.
That's never happening again.
No.
Because we just talked about the fighting.
Yeah. But the thing is, it to me is a different dynamic, and the reason they did so well is solely because they were not Street Fighters. Like, I will pick up that game and play it. I won't pick up a Street Fighter game and play it.
Yeah.
And I haven't for a long time. Like, it was many generations ago before I had any interest in Street Fighter because of the way it plays.
Yeah.
And, my style. Marvel vs. Capcom is just over the top ridiculousness. Iron Man having a cannon that just shoots pure energy across the entire screen and lights everything up is something that the Street Fighter games in and of themselves don't have. They are harder games for more of a fighter focused group. They still have I believe they were the ones behind Onimusha.
Yeah, but
I know.
Where is it?
I know.
I mean, it's the same thing with like Devil May Cry. Like,
yes.
Where is
that
it?
went into the ground.
But that was because of the reboot.
Yeah.
But the thing is that, a part of it is nostalgia, that I'm holding on to the belief that they can do something with these great titles, and that the people who essentially came out with these great titles can come out with new things that are fascinating. I'm afraid that they become what some of the titans in industries are, and they're solely focused on one or two titles and just milking the shit out of them until you cannot stand to see that brand's name anymore.
Well, I would argue they're one of the originators of that, with Resident Evil. They were good, but it's not to say that they didn't milk it, but
yeah, they definitely I would agree
I want that statement to be crazy. Like, I want them to be successful, but it's just, the more I look at it, and the more I am anticipating Resident Evil, I get a little worried about my expectations for Resident Evil.
But do you think it'll sell poorly or be bad?
I think it will do both.
Wow.
I think it has potential to do both.
See,
because
even No Man's Sky, which plays and runs like shit, is selling very well.
But I think that also that's a relative thing in regards to, like, I don't know what their goals are for that game, right? So, and it's one of those things where it may sell well, but it depends on your like, I'd have to see it compared to the other ones. You know what I mean? Like, or games of that genre. You get what I'm saying?
No, I hear you. I can't see Resident Evil 7 being a failure. Even if it's not a good game and it causes problems for 8, I just don't see it not selling, at least.
Yeah. But like the same could be said up until the point until Resident Evil 6 actually released. You know what I mean? Like, it's hindsight's 2020, so we know what it is, but going into that, you know, the hype was there for Resident Evil 6, and it fucking busted. Like,
but it didn't. So I just looked up the numbers, right?
Yeah.
So it sold 6.6 million copies.
Yeah.
Which is only 0.4 less than Resident Evil 5.
Even though you're supposed to be better than your previous one.
Yeah, but that's still not...
No, I know what you're saying.
That's still not a huge downfall.
Yeah.
Fucking... I mean, I don't know how accurate the numbers are simply because they've been re-released so many times. But, like, Outbreak 1.4, Evil 0 1.2... Resident Evil 2 is about 5. Resident Evil 4 shows somewhere around 6 million. But again, that number I bet you is kind of fuzzy. But even when it was a huge success on GameCube and PS2, it was only, what, 4 million?
Yeah, but you're talking about, like, I don't know what the ratio to PS2s to GameCubes was, like, you know what I mean? I don't know how many actual units between the two versus, you know, you're talking PS3 and Xbox 360. Like, there was way more of those two combined than there were.
No, there weren't.
Not the PS2, not the PS2.
100 and something fucking million.
That's over the years.
Yeah, and these are end of the life numbers. They're not. You know what I mean? They're not snapshots of that time. They're what they sold to date.
Yeah, well, maybe. I don't know.
I can't believe Resident Evil 5.
How many consoles of PS3 and Xbox 360 combined were there?
Probably the same number of PS2s, right? Didn't they both end about 60 million?
I thought the PlayStation 2 had way more than that.
No, the PlayStation 2 did. The PlayStation 2 was like 130, 140 million.
Yeah.
I thought the 360 and PS3 both ended around 60, 70 million a pop.
Yeah, fair enough.
I thought.
I mean, you're checking all the facts, so.
Yeah.
Well, this only tells me sales, not how many consoles there were.
I don't know.
All that considered, the fact, like, I understand where you're coming from, and I agree with you. I don't want that statement to be true. And it is nostalgia just tugging away at me.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing I think about is, like, this is going to sound kind of rude, but if you have that much potential and you've created that much of a legacy for yourself, and all you manage to do is just dig a hole with expectations, isn't it kind of just deserved?
Yeah, I would say
like,
so.
It becomes one of those things where your fan base is entitled to just bail on you.
Yeah.
And without them, what do you have?
Well, yeah, you make shitty games, you should be out.
Fair enough. And you don't listen to your community. So, all right. So now we're going to head into the last segment. It's Discourse in Gaming, where I just present you guys with the topic and we talk about it for a little bit. All right. So what got you guys into gaming?
Wow.
Didn't expect it, did you?
No. For me, it was just something to do with my brother. I think I've said it before. We started on Diablo 2. I mean, before that, I would game and play like
How old were you?
NES, Diablo 2. I don't even remember. I was young.
Yeah. Well.
Because I can still remember the computer I played on, the awkward spot it was in my house because computers still weren't really a thing, so it got like put in this cut-through hallway.
Yeah.
But that was the first game that like I was serious about and like really into. I mean, I played 64. We played, Sega, and we would play the games. But it was definitely I don't want to say family thing because it wasn't all of us, but definitely me and my brother. It was just the thing we did together, or the thing we would talk about and like we'd share and have in common. That's definitely what started this terrible, terrible path of destruction.
It's funny you mentioned the way your computer was set up. Yeah. I can vividly remember the first computer like we ever had was in my room, right? And I was like 5 at the time, I think, and it was on top. It was like sitting on top of the monitor was sitting on top of what looks like if you're on a plane, the push cart that the flight attendants have when they're bringing you food and stuff, but the whole middle is just hollowed out.
Yep.
And it's just sitting on top, and I don't even know where that thing came from.
Oh yeah.
And it's just sitting there, and I'm just like, okay, what is this? What is this block of thing that's in my room? But Yeah, it's good times. I was, growing up, like I had two half sisters, but I was pretty much the only kid in the house because they were a lot older than me, and I don't know, they got me in a Super Nintendo, and Jesus, like I remember Mario, I remember Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That game used to piss me off. I think that's the first controller I broke, and they should have known then that was a bad idea.
Yep.
Terminator, and it just stuck with me. I remember the Sega games that I played, and then PS1's when I really hit my stride.
Yeah.
I had like a fuck ton of games, and I think that's when I met Var. Probably around that time.
Yeah, probably maybe a little earlier than that.
Yeah, I can't. It's been like 20 years, so I don't know.
Yeah,
but
we don't remember what happened yesterday.
Yeah.
People talk about games like they're, people that don't understand what games do for you, especially like if you're an only child or, you're antisocial, you're both, or you just need like a release, and it was all that for me growing up, you know what I mean? It was the best. It still is the best. But now I'm forced as an adult to be more social, so.
No.
Wives
do that.
They do.
Oh.
They're great. I don't.
So
they put up with me, so they're great. Well,
blink twice if you need help. What about you, Var? When did you start?
To be perfectly honest, really, like when I first started playing games, I wasn't really into it too much.
Yeah.
Like it was really just something to kill time with my cousins. Like that's all it was. Like I remember us playing GoldenEye. And yeah, my cousin EJ was the only one of us who played the story.
Really?
Yeah, like
you don't need that
literally, it was like a group
so
thing
much
where it's
fun,
just
though.
like he unlocked the maps and the characters for us.
Yeah.
And we would just come in and play the multiplayer.
Yeah.
And that was that. Like I didn't have too much interest in it, and I think I've mentioned this before. Stories are what got me into gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not huge on multiplayer. I'm not that person. Can't do it.
You got us into Ghost in the Shell, so you're a little bit into.
But if you look at my stats, I am not huge.
Dude, they're great.
Yeah, you're fine.
Multiplayer.
0.8
Still using that controller.
on PC.
I'm not huge on multiplayer. But it was games like Final Fantasy that, like Final Fantasy 7 was just like, oh my god, this is better than a movie.
Yep.
And from that, I was just sold. And then the first Metal Gear was like, oh my god, this is better than any other movie could ever be.
That's like so much later. When you think about it, like the grand scheme of things, it's so much later.
But for the longest time, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Like it was literally, it was like a deck of cards for me.
Yeah.
Like there's a complete difference between you doing that to kill time and you being really into that and mastering your craft and seeing all this stuff behind. Like I was just, waiting for the next opportunity to play them in a game, and when that's over, that's over.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't dying to get back to it, and it was story.
Yeah.
Story gave me that feeling of they're gonna make a sequel, right?
Yeah.
Like it gave me that, bad to say, but addict feeling of I gotta have this. I need to know what happens next. No sequel. The company folded.
Yeah.
To the internet. I must release my rage.
The scary place is once you start looking after a story ends in a video game and you look for more on the internet. It's a bad place, man.
Oh yeah, fan fiction is not a good
bad
drug.
place.
It's.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
You've never looked at fanfic for something?
No.
Oh Lord, Jay, there's a whole side of the internet you need to see.
Don't see it.
You need to see it.
See it.
No.
Just look up. Think of a game you like.
Okay.
Okay. Think about its story.
Yeah.
Now imagine somebody made it 50 times more perverted. One of the characters always fucks an animal, and then the story just doesn't go anywhere for 7 hours. That's fanfic.
Imagine a series you love, absolutely love, and the most insignificant, hateable character in that entire world becomes the main character.
Yep.
Because some jackass can relate with that asshole more than any other person that you're supposed to aspire to be, and they just write that story.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's long and pointless, and
Yep.
nothing happens. And when you get to the end, you realize you can't strangle people over the internet,
No.
and you have to live with that.
Yeah. Fair enough. You guys have just opened my eyes and shut them to.
Oh God,
Fan
Star
fiction.
Wars fanfic. Ooh.
No, I never really messed with that.
That whole
Go there, bro.
Padawan.
Go there, bro.
master-
Yeah, it's one of those things
It's
where
weird.
I don't know. I just take, like, I'll take like a Star Wars movie or even like the books. I read the books. I used to read some of the now considered non-canon books, but I never looked past like what people were trying to do with that, on the internet. And I'm glad I didn't.
It's not good.
I'm
None of it's
glad
good.
None
Of it's good.
sounds like a lot of it belongs on a porn site.
Yeah.
Probably already is.
Well, the interesting thing is when it's actually done well, it completely leaves the rest of the fan fiction. Like, it's like finding that diamond in the mud where it's just like, oh, we can't leave you there.
Yeah.
That place is gross. And it gets presented in actual other places where people are like, I read this, don't ask me where.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess we'll wrap up from here.
What do we get here?
This has been episode, I think, 27.
Sure.
Something like that. Ish. 20-something-ish.
Ish.
Of last
Approximately.
Yeah, of Last Level Gamescast. Let us know about the topics we talked about, what you guys think about them. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.